What is up, guys? Happy Monday. Today, we are going to go ahead and talk about trade management along with take profits so we can start swinging some of these opportunities. But before we break down trade management and all that good stuff, I do want to break down the dollar real quick. We were expecting sales in this area. The dollar respected that area nicely. Had a little bit of drawdown, but it does respect, right? Now, I was waiting for this area specifically because we had already got opportunities here, right? We have a break of structure to the upside along with our change of direction. Oops. I mean, I guess I can just leave it. Yo, why is it acting up with me right now? Break of structure to the upside along with the change of direction, right? We have our starting point that gets activated right here. That was a nice opportunity. That was a nice opportunity. Sold the market down. Now, the next in line, if structure is going to respect, how did we get this sell opportunity, right? We can see this set up here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. We can see this set up here. We have a one candle pullback, higher high, higher low. We have the high. We get the change of direction, right? So we have this setup. Market respected based off of the starting point. And if we were going to draw our shoulder, it would be from the highest wick to body. It looks like that barely missed. But nonetheless, we were expecting the sell, right? And the sell definitely happened. So if market is going to respect the next structure, how did we get here, right? What did the market do? We can see that the market was building some type of resistance. The market shot up, gave us a break of structure / liquidity sweep, and we continue to change direction. Even though this looks a little funky, guys, we have to start training our eyes to see this stuff, right? We can see this. We have one touch, two touch, we sweep liquidity, and we continue down. Guys, this is exactly what we want to see if we're expecting the market to continue bearish. The market isn't always going to look like this. Clean head and shoulder, change of direction. Clean head and shoulder, change of direction. It's not going to always look like that, right? Even though I draw it like this so you guys can see the basic visual, right? Sometimes it's going to look like this. We're going to have a lot of consolidation, a lot of manipulation. Boom, we had the break of structure. We start to change direction. The same thing. We might have more liquidity. Market's going to fake you out, right? It's going to tell you, hey, we're going to start heading down now. And then it's going to what? Boom, right? So even though I draw it like this, very, very simplified, we have to be able to see liquidity, whether it's regular support and resistance or trend line. If you could identify that, that is going to help you. Because if we're looking and expecting for sales in a higher area, and you can see the market is creating liquidity to the downside, that's a good thing. We just have to wait for our opportunity, right? Same thing happens here, where the market gave us an opportunity, the change of direction gives us the sell. Market creates structure, gives us a dominant low. We can see we have another rejection, the entry, change of direction. Now, look at what's going on here. Liquidity, 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 and we're gone, right? Liquidity, and we're gone. So this one was taken. Not really interested in that anymore, right? We can see we have liquidity sitting here. So yes, it was a waiting game, but I feel like it was worth it, right? Market left liquidity to get taken out in the future. And if we want a target point, right, if we're expecting the market to continue selling, notice how the market created some more trend line liquidity. So if the market does respect this and continues down, I would like to tackle this low with the dollar. Give me an 8 if that makes sense, guys. Now, if the dollar is going to continue dropping, right, we can use that with our bias on some of the pairs that we trade, right? That's why I'm breaking this down right now. Now, we have the structure shift here on the 4-hour time frame. Notice how we have respect. We have higher high, higher low, we don't necessarily get a break of structure that's super clean. I mean, if you want to consider that a break of structure, you can, but I would just consider this more of a liquidity sweep. Market ran its way, took all this liquidity, and gave us a change of direction. After it gave us a change of direction, notice what is it doing now, guys? What would you guys consider this? What would you guys consider this here? Right here in this pocket. Let me know. Consolidation. Yes, exactly. Consolidation is another form of liquidity, right? So this is exactly what we want to see, guys. Most times it's not always going to happen so fast. Higher high, higher low, higher high, change of direction, right shoulder entry, sell the market. No, it's not always going to happen like that. Now, if we can get higher high, higher high, change of direction, some liquidity, this is going to help us for targets later, right? So if the market starts making its way back up and we can get an entry, I would like to target this low to continue down. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. And if that doesn't make sense right now, don't worry. That's exactly what I'm going to break down right now. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into that. But I wanted to break down the dollar because we can definitely use this structure for opportunities this week for sure. Now let's go. Let's use this because this is an example that we broke down a couple weeks back. And it's playing out right now. So if anybody took it, you're in profit. So last week, I believe we had some buy opportunities. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and break down some sell opportunities. Okay. Now, I'm going to draw. So I would love for you guys to draw with me. If you guys aren't going to draw with me, guys, please participate and make sure you get the recorded session from my YouTube, and take the time to either print out some of these examples or take the time to draw them, because I promise you, I draw them specifically in a way that'll make sense for you. That way, when it comes to the live chart, you're going to have a great example. Trading is an open book test, guys. Okay. You can use all your notes. Like, you can use all the notes, guys. All right. So let's go ahead. As of right now, market's giving us some aggressive bearish momentum. Let's go ahead and create some structure here. Give me some buy candles. Awesome. Now, again, I'm gonna move fairly quick with this because my whole point in this is to break down, take profits and liquidity. Okay. So as of right now, we have structure. We have lower low and lower high. We want to continue the trend. So we need to see the market break structure to the downside and give me a break of structure. Okay. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Market starting to head down now. Let's go. Let's say we have a 1 candle pullback, because, you know, it happens like that sometimes. And then we get a massive dump. Boom. Awesome. Let's go. I like this. Guys, do we have a break of structure to the downside? Yes or no? Yeah, so let's label that. Always label, guys. Always label. It's going to help you, I promise. Break of structure to the downside. Now, if this is my lower low and this is my lower high, where is my need change of direction line? Where should that go? Go ahead and draw on my chart. Where does my change of direction line go? Let's go, Shani. Let's go ahead, draw that line. Need change of direction for buy opportunity. Awesome. You should always have this, guys. If you can delete this line right here, that would be great. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You guys should always have this, because if you have it there, there should be like an annotation button. If you're on your phone, if you're watching on your phone, it might be a little bit tougher. But if you're on a tablet or a computer, it should have an annotation button somewhere. Okay, cool. Guys, have this line here. Okay. This is going to give you the real reversal move. Okay. Because if you see a little head and shoulder here, a lot of people think that this is the main reversal. But guys, this is the counter trend reversal. This is the move. I'm not saying you can't take this, but this right here is the move that we're looking to take back up to my sell zone. Okay. So very, very important that you have your need change of direction for buy opportunities in this correct area. So you won't be fooled. Okay. It's very like it's so easy to be fooled. This right here, guys, is going to help you. I promise. So cool. We have the breakout rally. Let's follow that rally back up to the last buying candle. 1, 2, right here. This is my last buying candle. This is my starting point. Go ahead and just lighten that up. That's my starting point. So I want to look for some sell opportunities in this area. Okay. Now, once you find your starting point, guys, we want to look for the highest wick in that area, right? Once you find your highest wick, that's going to be your stop loss. So your stop loss and your change of direction could be a totally different spot. Okay. I know people like tight stop losses. So if this is your highest wick in that area, you can have a tighter stop loss. If you're more comfortable with the looser stop loss so you can give your trade more room to play, you can go ahead and use the dominant high. Okay. So this should be like in your notes, right? You should star this. Need change of direction for buy opportunity is also the dominant stop loss. If you are looking for a tighter stop loss, find the highest wick in this area where the starting point is. Okay. That's a gem. I'm telling you right now. So let's go ahead. Boom. 1 to 3 risk to award. So this is what we're looking at, right? This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. Now, this is where we need to start paying attention because all of us can pretty much find this opportunity by now, right, guys? Give me a 10 if you feel fairly confident that you can understand this setup right here. Fairly simple to find this type of setup. It's basic structure. If you understand, lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, breaks of structures, fairly simple strategy to find to find entries, right? But now finding take profits so we could start holding our trades longer is a bit different, right? Now, this is the thing. When the market starts to make its way back up, it might take its sweet time. I don't know. But when the market starts to make its way back up and makes that U-turn, we need to start focusing on the structure. Okay. Every break of structure that we get and every liquidity pattern that we see, whether it's trend line, right? Break of structure, we need to start identifying liquidity and our breaks of structures. Okay. Very, 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 very important. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go draw this out for you guys. Let's see. Do I want to use, let's just draw it out like this. Let's get some type of consolidation going in here, right? Something. Let's get, boom, some type of red candle. All right, bet. So let's get some back and forth motions happening. Cool. So we have some type of equal lows now. Okay, now let's try to make this maybe even like a little different, right? Because it's not always going to be very, very pretty. Now we have some type of equal low structure. Okay, awesome. We finally get the breakage structure that we're looking for. Let's go, baby. Let's see if we can just bring this down a little bit because I want some room. I want some room. Come on, bro. All right, bet. Cool. So now we have some equal lows, right? We need to start identifying this. Liquidity. There's liquidity left here. Now, again, this can look different. Market structure can sometimes give you a head and shoulder and start heading back up to us. Sometimes the market can leave some type of trend line market structure and then start heading back to us. Sometimes the market can just leave equal lows and start coming back to us. This area right here, guys, can look very, very different. Can look very, very different. So it's very important that we focus on this setup here and not fooled on what this is going on. Okay. Different structure can appear here, but as long as we know and we're all together that we are looking for sales in this area based off of structure, we're all on the same page. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this example fairly simple for you guys. And then we'll go ahead and look back at the live examples and see what they can give us. Okay. So let's go ahead. Market gives me a break of structure to the upside. Label that up. BOS. Cool. Now, same thing might happen, right? Oops, give me that. Market starts to come back, pull back. It's going to make structure. There's nothing we can do, right? I mean, it's going to make the structure. And that's what we want. Some of these plays take a very long time. It is what it is. Nothing we can do about that, right? Literally nothing we can do about that. But I want to try to make this drawing as detailed as possible. All right, bet. You're going to be annoying right now. Cool. Awesome. Guys, we can spot some equal lows. Let's go ahead. Mark that up. Mark that up. We can also see our breakage structure to the upside. Let's go ahead and mark that up too. It's very important that you guys start marking up everything that you guys see. That way you stay confident. Have you ever seen everything on the chart, but you guys don't mark it up? And because you don't mark it up, you guys don't feel as confident. But when you start marking up everything, all of a sudden you feel like Superman and then you're just waiting for opportunities to come to you. Has that ever happened to you guys? Or is that just me? Because I know when I first came into trading, I would just like see it and I'm like, okay, I can see it, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. You know, I don't want my charts too cluttered. And then when I started like getting more hands-on and started marking up everything, I was like, bro, I see it all now. Now I just have to wait for opportunities. And now everything is starting to make sense slowly but surely. Right. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm telling you, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. All right. So let's go ahead and try to make this look a little different. Cool. Market gave us a breakage structure to the upside. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's say we have a one candle pullback here. And then we break structure. Awesome. Structure will always look different. That's why I'm trying to make it different. Okay. Now let's say the market starts to consolidate. Just back and forth movement. Cool. Let's lock that, get that out the way. All right, awesome, guys. Do we have a breakage structure? If you guys can see my breakage structure, go ahead and mark that up for me, guys. Go ahead and mark up my very last breakage structure. Yeah, Shawnee, let's go. Anybody else see it? Let's go, Kai. Let's go. Right here, guys. Let's go, Jasmine. Let's go. Even if you don't know, guys, still participate. That's how we start memorizing things. You're going to realize, oh, I was wrong there, but he helped me understand, and now I know. You know, solid. Yes, I see it. Oh, you're good. No worries. My very last BOS. Paula, if you can delete that, that would be amazing. It gives you a back button or an undo button. So we have a break of structure here. All right, you're good. We have a break of structure here. Guys, can anybody see anything else? Because we are labeling breaks of structures and we're labeling liquidity. Can you guys spot anything? Any extra liquidity that we can use and locate? Go ahead. You guys can guess. Go ahead and be wrong. Let's go, Jasmine. Let's go. We got some, oops, no. We got some trend line type, or maybe even just regular, you know, support and resistance or some support. But I'm going to go ahead and use some trend line type activity. So we have liquidity, right? We can easily see that market's giving me consolidation, break of structure, consolidation, break of structure, break of structure. Market is creating trend line, break of structure, right? So this is going to be important for take profits. Now, market is in our setup. We want to take this opportunity. We want to hop in. We want to go ahead and sell the market that way we can continue with the trend. Okay. Now, this is the thing. I know I have liquidity here. And I want to go ahead and use good money management. So at a 1-to-1, I want to go ahead and have my take partials. At a 1-to-2, I want to have my break even. And at a 1-to-3, I want to have my take profit. Right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and break this down right now. This is fairly basic, but it works. Okay, I was back testing this right here for like the last month and a half, last 2 months. It works, but it's basic. So if you're within your first year, possibly even your first 2 years, this is what you want to use, right? If you're still struggling with market structure or finding take profits or identifying liquidity, guys, it's okay. You guys can go ahead and use this right here. Very, very simple. As soon as the market goes my way and hits my partial area, I want to go ahead and take some partials. Okay. If the market can go ahead and hit my break even, I want to move my stop loss from negative to break even. So now this is a risk-free trade. I've taken money off this trade. My stop loss was from negative. It went from negative to break even. So now if the market does plan on going higher, hey, I already took a little bit. It's not a loss. But what if the market wants to go my way and hits my take profit? This trade was a win. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. And I'll go ahead and break that down one more time. Again, guys, this is the basic way of money management and how you should manage your trade. We want to take sell opportunities in this area. We know where our stop loss is, whether it's the highest wick or the dominant high. Whichever one you choose is up to you, right? Let's just say we used the dominant high for this example. Everything kind of changes, right? My 1-to-1's around here, my 1-to-2's around here. But I want to use the same schematic, the same thing. I want to just rinse and repeat everything, right? Nothing changed but a bigger stop loss, and I'm just moving my zones to fit my risk to reward. Does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. That's the only thing that changes, really. Okay. But again, we want to take these opportunities. If the market can go ahead and hit my partial zone, I want to take money off the playing field. If the market hits my break even, guys, move your stop loss from the negative to break even. Let's say you are risking $100. Well, now if you move it to break even, you are now risking $0, and maybe you took $50 off the playing field. So now you're up. This trade is a winner, right? Now you're protecting capital. You don't want to give money back after you just won some, right? So this is very important, because if the market does want to go and start heading back up now, hey, you had good money management. There is nothing you can do about the market going higher, but you have every bit of control. Once the market is giving you profit, you have to manage your trade. Okay, give me a 1 if that makes sense. Now that we broke even, we've taken some partials. We would like the market to run our take profit and give me my money. That's what I would be expecting in a perfect trading world, right? Now, let's go ahead and back up. Now we're going to go ahead and use a more advanced logic, okay? More advanced. Again, we want to take these opportunities. I want to sell here. Now, I also want to continue, just because I'm going to use swing take profits using structure does not mean I am not going to continue to use my partial and break evens. This will always be a part of your trade management and your money management. Give me a 1 if that makes sense. Your partials and your break even will always 100% be a part of your money management. But now what I'm going to show you is going to help you hold the swing, the trade longer than the 1 to 3. And maybe we can hold it down to a 1 to 4, right? And let's say, you had a tighter stop loss. This is now a 1 to 6. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll run we'll use the tighter stop loss. I'm just going to move these with the eyeballs. It's around here, I'm sure. Now, let's just say 1 to 3 is here, but I would really like to run these lows, which gives me a 1 to 6. Now, why would I do that, guys? Who would have an idea to why I would want to run these lows here? Why would I want to hit this as my take profit, my swing take profit? Who has an idea? You guys can be wrong. It's okay. I want to use this as my swing take profit because if this is not only because liquidity, that's one reason, right? But if the market's in a downtrend, we want the market to continue that downtrend, right? Now, if this is my lower low and this is my lower high, this is my lower low, this is my lower high, we would like the market to continue to make a new lower low in the future. New lower low, new lower high, same thing. We rinse and repeat. Does that make sense? That is why I would like to hold this to this dominant low. Give me a 10 if that makes sense. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Now, because this is my dominant low, this will obviously be my take profit here. Now, yes, exactly, Shani. That's the higher time frame trading range. Exactly. So now we have a low here. We know liquidity is here. We can also use this as a take profit. Same thing here. We can also use this as a take profit. So even if there isn't clear liquidity that you can see, guys, as long as we continue to make a higher high, higher low, break a structure, this will be a take profit. We have, as long as we have higher high, higher low, break a structure, this will be a take profit. Now, sometimes it might make some equal lows. It may, right? Break a structure. Sometimes you'll have two parts of the structure in the same area. That's what creating liquidity is. So even if it doesn't have clear liquidity, guys, if you can see the market is just giving us clear breaks of structures, find the highs, find the lows, mark it up. Find the highs, find the lows. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know. Does anybody have any questions about that real quick before I continue? Any questions? Any questions? Go ahead and unmute. Go ahead and unmute, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, awesome. So now, yes, we would like to continue with this trade idea. Market hits my partials, go ahead and take partials, right? If the market hits your break even, go ahead and break even. Guys, there are going to be times where you're going to see your partial zones and your break even zones line up with structure. It is not a coincidence, because if, let's say, market hits your break even and we get a candle that looks like this. We get a candle that looks like this, right? Massive, massive candle, massive candle. Market just hit your break even zone, but you did not break even. You left your stop loss in negative. Now, what if this happens? Market leaves a wick, crawls back up. We never change character, and the market continues to go higher. That is a possibility, which is why you need to respect the rules and you need to respect the structure. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Because if we didn't even have any of this, if this is my break of structure, guys, this is my change of direction line for confirmation. The more sells are coming. Higher high, higher low, higher high, change of direction. If the market does break and close below, we can continue to look for sells. Now, if the market does not change direction, in the example I just showed you, what if it gives you a massive candle, leaves the wick, and then continues going higher? Very important that you understand this as well. This is why it's a bit more advanced, because you need to match your target points also with structure. And you need, in order to see these things fall into place and the market to continue to go your way, you need to see the change of direction. So everything will fall in together, which is why there are going to be times where, yes, your break even point and your partial point will line up with your take profit and your structure point. Give me a 5 if that makes sense, guys. This is why it gets a bit more advanced, right? We can't just focus on one and neglect the other. You have to start understanding how we're merging the two and how everything makes sense together. So let's go ahead. Market hits your partial area. You better take partials. Market hits your break even area, and we also hit a take profit. So let's go. That's good. We can take some profit off the playing field, and we move our stop loss to break even. Let's go. Now the same rules apply. You're at break even. This is a risk-free trade. Now, if the market does want to go the opposite direction, hey, you took money off the trade. It's already a win, right? Now, if the market wants to go your way some more, well, that's a good thing. Let's continue to have good money management. If the market hits your take profit, or let's say it doesn't, let's say it just hangs out right here. Guys, don't worry. Let the trade do its thing. Boom, we finally hit another profit. Make sure you partial out. And we continue to do this all the way until the market hits our final take profit, guys. Give me a 2 if this makes sense. Give me a 10. Give me an 8. Give me anything if you are paying attention right now and this is making sense to you guys. Let's go, mama. That's funny. Let's go. Guys, this is how we get better, right? This is how we get better. So let me go ahead and just see if I can move this over here, just so you guys can have like a better visual of everything when you take your screenshots and decide to print the stuff out. That's up to you guys. Boom. Awesome, guys. Go ahead and take your screenshots. Do what you guys do. Print this out. Draw this out later, because it will help you in the future. I promise you guys. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Guys, now when we bring it back to EURCAD, this trade is playing out nicely. Now, we called this out. I was looking at this and like, yo, I remember this play. This was from last Monday. This is it. This is the same idea. It's the same idea. Look at the structure. Look at EURCAD, who had just created all this liquidity. Trust me, I used to do it, guys. I trust me. I used to participate in all. We talked about this, right? We talked about this. We have a breakout structure to the upside. We can see we have a clean breakout rally. My starting point to the daily time frame is right here. We had it marked up. Now look at what we have here. This is just clean structure. Market gives me a high, starts to come down, rejects off this same high, and then it just falls. Guys, when you see that, you got to be able to understand, yo, this is some equal highs. That's liquidity. That's a future target point if this market can continue to run. Does this make sense? Give me a 1 if that makes sense, guys. So as of right now, this is my swing take profit. Right? My swing take profit. Now let's drop down to the 4 hour. Cool. Now let's just get this out the way real quick. Move this over here. We'll lock that in. Now at this point, we just continue to find structure. Notice market drops, equal highs, resistance, 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 and then we drop. Guys, if you can see it, mark it up. That's liquidity to the upside. This is also a target point, right? Now we can see we have a slight pullback. We can also use this as a target if you'd like, right? On the lower time frame, that will be a bit more defined on the 1 hour. Notice how we have a strong change of direction here, strong breakout. I don't really like this though, but EURCAD is a pair that just consolidates, so you can't really, be upset. Everything is following structure. The 4 hour gave us a change of direction, So you can also use this as a target point if you'd like, right? Now let's go ahead and run. Thanks, Jasmine. I'll go ahead and look at that in a bit. Guys, if you want to go ahead and send examples, maybe if you want to go ask me if you guys are seeing this correctly, go ahead and send in charts, right? This is my 1-to-1 break even. Guys, notice, why is my 1-to-1 break even right next to the 4 hour change of direction? 4 hour change of direction. Or even, I didn't even see this right here. Even this, right? Well, that's the liquidity too. Easy liquidity grab. Would that be a daily? No, it would be an 8 hour though. But still, very, very important structure, right? Because if the market doesn't continue to break structure to the upside, we could definitely continue down. But that's not a coincidence. Now my 1-to-2. Why is my 1-to-2 very, very close to this high? Not a coincidence, guys. That's my, no, this is my break even. This is my partials. And then 1-to-3 to let that thing continue to run, right? So depending, that could be a take profit free if you like, or a partial point. But notice, guys, very, very close to the structure. Very, very close. Now look, the market gave us a take partial area. Guys, take partials. And look, notice what we had on that 1 hour time frame. This doesn't look very clean. That looks like liquidity. Those aren't my favorite moves. If I'm seeing this, I would like to see the market sweep it one more time and then continue to run. Something clean where we have a breakage structure like this to the downside, and then we have a change of direction right here. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. That's what I would like to see. So now, if we go back up to the 4 hour, if the market hits your partial area, guys, partial, because the market can definitely go a bit deeper and give us a better setup for the continuation next time, right? Now, same thing. Same thing for the break-even area. Hit your take partials, you take partials. Let's say it hits your break even, and let's say it bounces off resistance again, but you fail to break even and the market just goes lower. That can happen. Or what if the market sweeps liquidity? What if the market sweeps liquidity and then decides to go lower? There's very many scenarios that can happen, which is why you need to follow your rules, guys. You need to follow your rules. Okay. If the market hits this area on your take profit, follow your rules, break even, follow your rules and take profit. If the market continues to run your way, that's fire. That's fire. Let the take profit hit. Shake hands with the market. Good day, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And I will see you another day. Give me a 10 if this makes sense, guys. So as of right now, this trade is in profit, and we are technically, if you had taken this trade, technically you should have partialed out, and we are still, our stop loss is still technically in the negative. So it is what it is. Let the trade run. Nothing you can do. You got no control, right? No control. Unless you obviously practice this is switched to where, you know, you should be at break even. Everybody has different rules, and that's okay. It's important that you follow the rules that you have. That's it. Point, period, blank. My way is not better than yours. Your way is not better than me. It honestly goes down to who could be more consistent with the rules that they have. That's what it really comes down to. Okay, so gotta practice it, guys. We gotta practice it. Let's go see what Jasmine sent in. Okay, are you asking for help specifically, or what were you looking for when you circled this right here?
We can just look into the cell that circles more for some feedback with my mentor.
Okay, got you. I do like that sell, GBP USD. These buys look a bit better though. Let's go ahead and look at GBP USD. What time frame are you on? You're on the 1 hour time frame. Your sells are right here. So let's go ahead and just mark that up real quick, and then we'll go ahead and hop on a higher time frame and then just confirm. So I do like this bullishness. We do got to break a structure to the upside. Daily starting point is down here. Awesome. We are locked in on that. Let's go ahead and continue to drop down. Weekly setup. The weekly setup, I am seeing a structure shift right here as well. We do have a break of structure to the upside. And we do have the change of direction here. And this is on the weekly, so this is pretty good movement. I do not mind this. Do not mind this at all. Especially since on the monthly time frame, technically we're in a downtrend. Now, this isn't the cleanest area. I'm going to be very honest with you, but we have a break of structure to the downside. And technically, this is my change of direction line. So we are still in bearish territory. And the next best buy opportunity technically would be way down here. So we do have that head and shoulder shift, which I do like this area. Head, change of direction. Let's see if we can hold down here for a little bit, and then let's see if we can get some of that action. But now that we know that, let's go ahead and break it down. We do have a starting point / head and shoulder in this area, and we also have that down here. So let's just go ahead and mark this up. Shoulder will redefine on the daily. So we can see we have a lot of support. We sweep liquidity, we change direction, right? So let's go ahead. This is my zone right here. Same thing happens here. Lots of support. We sweep, right? Support. support, we sweep, and we're gone, right? So these are the best counter trends or the best opportunities in this area right now. Now, if this was to continue down, these would be counter trend areas. So let's go ahead and break that down. We do have a starting point here on the daily. Showed starting point. Okay, cool. So now let's drop down to the 8 hour or 4 hour. Your 1 hour starting point lines up with the 4 hour starting point. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Now this shift down here looks fairly clean though. I'm gonna delete this for the visual purpose. I do like this. That just looks too clean not to take. And there's a lot of the good opportunities are a lot higher as well. I mean, I look at it both ways. I mean, I always look at the structure with levels. We have the liquidity sweep, which is my bracket structure. We have the change of direction, and then we have trend line liquidity. So, in my opinion, it's the same. People can fight me and argue me with that all they want, but I mean, give me your best smart money trader, and I'm gonna break it down with levels. I mean, that looks like an institutional move, and that does look like an imbalance, right? That is a break of structure, and this is a change of direction. So, I mean, just, I don't know. Find me your best smart money trader and send them my way. Now, this is the thing, right? We're between a sell zone and we're between a buy zone. Do you think since the market already took about 50%, would it come back to that SP? You talking about like right here? This one down here. Draw it on my chart, Shauna. This one here. I mean, I still like that. I would still like that. For me, I'm never looking at imbalances and like, oh, the fill was 50% or 25%. I don't look at imbalances. I look at starting points. I see starting points respected all the time, and I see imbalances get filled all the time to come to my starting points. Okay, so if I see a fresh starting point along with structure, I'm always willing to take opportunities. Okay, now this is the thing, right? The market is ranging right now. The market is ranging right now. So if the market starts to drop down and we could stay within this range and make some type of liquidity, that's a good thing. Continue to mark that up because I don't know if the market can give us a sell tomorrow or the buy tomorrow. The market can consolidate for 2-3 days, right? So as of right now, we are literally between a sell zone and a buy zone. Okay. We have a liquidity sweep here along with the break of structure. And then we have the change of direction, battle imbalance. Okay. I'm just going to use this because this looks a lot cleaner up here. Okay. So boom, this is what I'll be looking at. Now, the only reason that is giving me like, I don't know, is because the market looks very, very aggressive with these sell opportunities. Right now, if the market does want to start heading down lower and give us lower buy opportunities, that's the only thing that would give me like, this might be a counter trend. Right. But the market structure looks very, very good. And technically, we do not break and close below. Right. So if you would like to take the first touch and play a bit more aggressive, go ahead and do that. And if you want to go wait for a confirmation trade, mark up as the market breaks structure to the downside. Every break of structure you see, mark that up. BOS. Every break of structure you see, guys, mark it up. Break of structure, break of structure, consolidation, break of structure. Mark all of these up, guys. Everything that you see, mark this up, because as soon as we get the break of structure, maybe you don't play here. Maybe you don't participate in this first touch. But as soon as we get this change of direction, it's game time for you. You have your change of direction. Now it's time for you to look for some opportunities and shift this market higher. Give me a 10 if this makes sense. Let me know, guys. Now, the reason why I also like this and why I like because the dollar, right? If the dollar does continue to give us that shift, notice look at how similar it looks, right? The dollar does the same thing. Consolidates, nice drop, changes direction. Consolidates, takes liquidity, drops, changes direction, right? So if the market does want to respect this, it goes hand in hand with what we are looking at with GBP USD. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? What I do like this sell too, Jasmine. This is where I would be looking to sell. This is the next sell. Obviously, we have the breakout rally, right? We have a starting point right here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and everything looks right structure-wise. Liquidity was built, liquidity was taken, and then we continued, right? So, and the market looks like it's continuing. Market left liquidity here, which was taken as of right now, right? So it may just play around in this area and might even make more liquidity. Who knows? Equal highs, equal highs. Who knows? We just have to wait and let the marketplace play out. We need to let it make more structure, right? But other than that, this is what I would be looking for on GBP USD. Okay. Now, this is the thing, right? If this fails and this does not work out, well, then, guys, we have to stay fresh. Okay. We have to stay fresh. Let's say the market gives opportunities. And then, you know what? It says, nope, never mind. We want to go down. Okay, it happens. But we have to delete and stay fresh, right? So at this point, we delete this to delete, 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 delete. Now, what can we see, guys? I can see the market broke structure to the upside, maybe even swept liquidity or gave us a break of structure, however you look at it when you refresh your eyes. And we also continue to the downside here. So not only do we have a breakout rally, we should have some type of starting point. Now, usually, a lot of the times, not every time, but a lot of the times, right? Let's see. There will be a pullback candle right here because of my right shoulder, our starting point. So we might have a pullback and then a breakout, which leaves our starting point in this area to sell, right? Or sometimes the market will bounce off of this zone again and then break structure, giving us pretty much a starting point overlap with the violation starting point. Does that make sense, guys? So then you'll have a fresh selling starting point on top of a starting point violation. So then we can start looking at sells here. Does that make sense, guys? So if we take a loss, it's okay. Based off of the structure and criteria as of right now, it looks okay. But again, because the market could be trending down, we also have to think and stay 5 to 10 steps ahead. So if this does happen, it's okay. Learn how to adapt when the market conditions change. And this is how you do it, right? You stay focused on the structure because different structure can play out, right? Different structure can play out. We can have a pullback here. Boom. Market's dropping. If this is our starting point to sell, you know, I like to stay fresh and I like to just wait for my opportunities right here. My 1 to 3. You'd use the same zoner and said buy at the right shoulder. You'd sell. I don't really take a whole lot of starting point violations or uh, head and shoulder violations as much as I used to. I like to just stay fresh with current market structure, if that's what you're asking, Shawnee. But to each their own, right? I just did a whole lot of back testing, and I just felt like the market just always sooner or later. I'm not saying it doesn't give an opportunity, right? Because let's say this is an opportunity that you can look at using levels, right? The right shoulder, head and shoulder violation. Once the market hits your stop loss, you can use the right shoulder that you were looking to buy off of and sell off of it now. So instead, I'm not saying this move doesn't happen. Sometimes it does give an opportunity, right? It does give you enough to break even, take partial, so on and so forth. But then I realized the market would come up just a little bit higher, give me that starting point or right shoulder, and then continue to drop. And then it creates a whole nother setup, right? Liquidity sweep, break a structure, so on and so forth. So I'm not saying you can't take it. I just, with a lot of back testing, I just realized that for me personally, I like to really stay fresh with new structure. Right. I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. But with that being said, guys, fire call, in my opinion. It's all about getting better, guys. Sometimes I like to teach what has given me a lot of breakthroughs, what I struggled with when I first came up. And I know if I struggle with some of that stuff, I know that you guys are struggling with, a lot of the same things. Yep, stay fresh. Let's go. I know you guys are struggling with some of the same things, and I get that. Like, it's part of the journey. It's the same. It's usually the same thing, right? Like, we understand the setup, we understand where our stop loss goes, our take profit, and then once we find that one thing where we're able to lock in, it's the next obstacle, and then we have to fix and tweak ourselves and our strategy and back test, and then once we overcome that obstacle and hit the next level, there's another obstacle, right? So those obstacles, we need to understand them. We can't run away from them. We need to let them expose us, accept what we're doing is wrong, get better, because that's how you start evolving in this game. Give me a 10 if that makes sense, guys. Now, if you guys have anything you guys want me to talk about specifically, guys, hit up the chats, ask the questions. Like, I might have something I want to talk about, but if you're like, hey, Vinny, at the beginning of the call, when I ask what you guys want to talk about, and you say, yo, I really want to learn about liquidity or whatever, like, my call that I had planned will go out the window, and the call will go strictly for you, right? So closed mouths do not get fed, and I'm always willing to serve plates, right? I'm always willing to serve plates. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys had a great session. Hopefully you guys had some breakthroughs. Hopefully you guys can take this stuff with you and use this with you in the market this weekend. Remember, trading is an open book test. Take time to take the notes or print out the examples. That way you can have them on you. Trade responsibly this week. Send in your charts for feedback, and I will see you guys on Friday. Peace out, guys.